Hey everybody, Jonas Callis of the Hard at Work Workers' Compensation Law Firm. Many of you know me as the Workers' Comp Guy. First, the obligatory disclaimer. The following information is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice, nor does it create an attorney-client relationship with anyone. I was recently reviewing some cases and it dawned on me that I keep seeing what appear to be otherwise valid workers' compensation claims being denied on what many people would refer to as a technicality. So I wanted to introduce myself and my law firm and talk a little bit about that today. Virginia's workers' compensation system, like those in many other states, is an administrative law system that was at least initially designed to be easier for an injured worker who has no legal experience in handling workers' compensation claims to be able to navigate on his or her own. Over time, at least in Virginia, the system has become more complicated, and it creates more hurdles and more burdens that injured workers have to overcome, which is difficult, obviously, when most injured workers are not legally trained. Yet the system hasn't changed in as much as it still is purportedly designed to allow injured workers to handle their own claims. So, and I think probably the best example that I have of this is other attorneys. Okay, I've seen in my years of practice, I've seen other attorneys who have practiced for 10 or 15, 20 years, licensed in Virginia. They've maintained successful law practices in other fields. And I guess they were looking for another field to venture into. I don't know if they got bored or wanted to try to get more money. I don't know. Who knows? But in any event, these are good attorneys, or good, competent attorneys, good reputations and everything. And, undoubtedly, I can remember, several of them. And, it's just, you can see the look on their face when sometimes they realize that, it kind of dawns on them that maybe they've bitten off more than they can chew. And that's because the workers' compensation system and the practice of law in the commission is different than the practice of law in regular Virginia circuit courts and general district courts. The workers' compensation book is this big, and when you research cases, often you'll find cases that appear to, both of them are purportedly good law, and they appear to contradict each other and conflict. So it's difficult, and it's a different kind of practice. So my thing is, if successful attorneys who obviously are good at being a lawyer, whatever that means, right? If they have difficulty understanding all the ins and outs and the intricacies and the nuances of Virginia's workers' compensation laws, then how is someone who's not legally trained and not a workers' compensation attorney, just an injured worker, supposed to understand the Workers' Compensation Commission and represent themselves and get all the benefits to which they're entitled? So to me, it just really doesn't make a lot of sense. So in any event, that's what prompted me to start the Hard at Work Workers' Compensation Law Firm. If you go to my website, it's chock full of information, and it's designed to help injured employees understand what they're facing, maybe get their bearings, and to kind of help them handle their own claim before the commission as much as possible. Likewise, if you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, there are videos like this one that cover different workers' compensation topics that come up at least somewhat frequently. So again, injured workers can kind of understand what's going on. And so if you've been hurt on the job, first of all, I'm sorry that happened. But hopefully you found me early enough in the process to where, you haven't made any major mistakes or any mistakes yet. And you can kind of, go to my website, review my videos and everything, and kind of bring yourself up to speed on what you're generally looking at when you're trying to, kind of push your claim through the Workers' Compensation Commission. I know a lot of times I see injured workers handle their claims for a while, and they'll make various mistakes along the way. And some mistakes are small and can be overcome, and some are fatal. And most of the time I can get injured workers out from under whatever mistakes that they've made. Because I used to work for insurance defense companies and employers, okay? So I know the tricks and traps that they use. So a lot of times I can help injured workers get out of mistakes that they made. But there are some mistakes that no one can help them out of, right? And some mistakes are just fatal to a claim. For example, statute of limitations failing to file a claim for benefits with the commission in the time allotted is kind of violates the statute of limitations, right? And that's often hard to get out of. So those mistakes are just hard. It's just, a lot of times claims are done, and it can cost injured workers thousands and thousands of dollars when that happens. So should your claim get to the point where it's getting complicated, or if hopefully you're at the beginning of your claim, you can use my website, get the information, get all the information that you could possibly get and understand. Okay. Like my thing is, it's better to have the information and not need it than it is to need the information and not have it and kind of not know what you're doing. That's when people get into trouble. Okay. So, and the other thing is, if you find this video, my other videos, my website, if you find it helpful, then probably other people would find it helpful, right? So, tell your friends, tell your family, even if they do or don't have a claim, they may know someone else who has a claim. They can say, hey, I know this website. It's got all kinds of information that can help you navigate the workers' compensation system. That's all I got for now. Until next time, stay safe and don't get hurt at work.